It's 2 a.m. You're scrolling through Instagram and another friend just posted their house keys. Homeowner at 27, dreams do come true. You close the app and check your bank account. $8,000. That's it. No down payment, no house, no American dream, and you feel like you're failing at life. Your parents keep asking when you're going to stop throwing money away on rent. Your friends who bought it are posting their closing day photos. And you're lying there at 2 a.m. wondering what you did wrong. Here's what nobody's telling you. Not having a down payment at 27 isn't your failure. It's your ultimate unfair advantage. And I'm about to prove it with math. I'm Sam, and I've run the forensic numbers on hundreds of 27-year-olds who bought houses versus those who kept renting and investing. What I'm about to show you will completely flip everything you've been told about homeownership, wealth building, and what it means to be financially successful in your 20s. Because that anxiety you're feeling at 2 a.m., that's not reality. That's financial propaganda programmed into you by real estate agents, mortgage lenders, and a generation that bought houses for $75,000. The truth? By not buying a house at 27, you're avoiding what I call a prison of illiquidity. And you're about to understand why that's the smartest move you never knew you were making. Let's start by destroying the biggest lie you've been told, that a down payment is savings. Wrong. Dead wrong. A down payment isn't savings, it's dead equity. The moment you hand over that $40,000 check at closing, that money dies. It's locked inside walls where it cannot be rebalanced, cannot earn dividends, cannot be used for opportunities, and cannot help you if you lose your job next month. Let me show you what actually happens to that $40,000. If you put it in a down payment at 27, it sits in your house appreciating at maybe 4% annually. Over 10 years, it grew to about $59,000. Not bad, right? Stop. Now let me show you what happens if you invest that same $40,000 in a basic S&P 500 index fund at 27. At 10% average annual returns. Age 34 in 7 years, $78,000. Age 41 in 14 years, $153,000. Age 48 in 21 years, $300,000. Age 55 in 28 years, $588,000. That $40,000 down payment you didn't make, it just became over $500,000 in the market while your friend's down payment is still trapped in their walls as dead equity. But it gets worse for the homeowner. Because they can't access their equity without paying the exit tax, a 6% realtor fee plus closing costs. On a $500,000 house, that's $30,000 just to get their own money out. Meanwhile, your $588,000 in the market? Fully liquid, fully accessible, working for you every single day. No exit tax, no transaction costs, just wealth you actually control. This is the opportunity cost hammer. Every dollar you put into a house is a dollar that's not compounding in the market. And at 27, you have the most valuable asset in finance, time. Historical home prices barely outpace inflation. $10,000 invested in the S&P in 1985 would be worth over $380,000 today. That's a 38x return, while housing only gave you a 2x return above inflation. Your friend who bought at 27 just bet on the slowest appreciating asset while you could be riding the fastest. That $40,000 is sitting on the bench in their walls while your $40,000 is in the game, compounding at 10%. Now let me show you something even more valuable that you're preserving by not buying at 27. And this might be worth more than any investment return. At 27, your greatest financial asset isn't a down payment, it's optionality. It's your ability to say yes to opportunities and no to situations that don't serve you. By buying a house, you're shorting your own mobility in the most dynamic phase of your career. Here's why this matters. Studies show that people who switch jobs in their 20s and 30s earn 10% to 30% more per switch than those who stay put. The biggest salary jumps happen when you're willing to relocate. Let's run the numbers on two 27-year-olds making $65,000. Person A, the homeowner. Bought a house, anchored to one city, gets 3% annual raises by staying at same company. Age 37, salary $87,000. 10-year earnings $755,000. Person B, the renter. Mobile took 3 job switches with relocations. Each switch gave a 15% bump, then 3% annual raises. Age 37 salary, $124,000. 10-year earnings, $945,000. The mobile renter earned $190,000 more over 10 years, just by being able to relocate for opportunities. That's the value of optionality. That's what you're preserving by not anchoring yourself at 27. But the homeowner can't take those opportunities. Moving costs them the exit tax, 6% in realtor fees, plus closing costs. On a $400,000 house, that's $30,000 just to leave. That dream job offer across the country, it just became $15,000 less attractive after paying the transaction fee on freedom. The renter gives 30 days notice and moves. No exit tax, no stress, no $30,000 penalty, just opportunity and execution. At 27, you're supposed to be mobile. Geographic flexibility is a financial asset, and you're destroying it by signing a mortgage. Now let me give you the forensic tool that will change how you see every rent versus buy decision. The 7% rule. This is your mathematical cheat code. Take any home price, multiply by 0.07, divide by 12. That number is your unrecoverable cost floor, the amount you're throwing away monthly as a homeowner. Let's use a $350,000 house. $350,000 times 0.07 divided by 12 equals $2,042 per month. This includes mortgage interest vapor. You're renting money from the bank. Property taxes. Insurance. Maintenance, 1 to 2% of home value annually. Opportunity cost of down payment, not earning 10% in market. If you can rent a comparable place for less than $2,042, you aren't throwing money away. You're buying your freedom at a discount while the homeowner pays a premium for the illusion of ownership. And here's the brutal truth. In most markets, you can rent for less than the 7% rule number. The homeowner is throwing away more money than you are, they just don't realize it because it's hidden in interest vapor and unrecoverable costs. Let me perform what I call an amortization autopsy to show you where that mortgage payment actually goes. $350,000 house, 10% down, 7% interest rate equals $2,095 monthly payment. Month 1. Of that $2,095, roughly $1,838 is interest vapor. Unrecoverable, gone forever, they're only buying about $257 worth of their house. 88% of their payment is renting money from their primary landlord, the bank. Over the first year, they'll pay $25,140 to the bank. They'll buy about $3,084 worth of equity. The other $22,056 interest vapor. They're throwing away more than you are. They're just calling it something different. And at 27, here's what you should really be focused on. Not a down payment, not a house, the first $100,000, because this is where compound interest starts to flex its muscles and do the heavy lifting for you. If you start at 27 investing $1,000 a month at 10% returns, you hit $100,000 at age 34, 7 years of grinding. You hit $200,000 at age 39, only 5 more years. You hit $500,000 at age 49, only 10 more years. You hit $1 million at age 56, only 7 more years. Notice what happened? Getting to $100,000 took 7 years. Getting from $100,000 to $1 million took another 22 years. But here's the secret. That first $100,000 represents 1/3 of the journey to $1 million because of how compound interest accelerates. But if you dump $40,000 into a down payment at 27, you just delayed reaching that $100,000 threshold by 2 to 3 years. That's 2 to 3 years of compound interest working against you instead of for you. Your friend who bought the house at 27 won't hit $100,000 in liquid assets until they're 37 or 38. You could hit it at 34. That 3-year head start is worth hundreds of thousands by retirement because compound interest had more time to accelerate. Now, here's what really separates the homeowner from the wealth builder at 27. The homeowner has equity, they look wealthy, they post photos of their kitchen on Instagram, their parents are proud, society tells them they're winning. But equity isn't wealth. Liquidity is wealth. Equity is money trapped in walls that cost you money every month through taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Liquidity is money working for you in the market, earning dividends, compounding daily, accessible instantly if you need it. This is what I call building a liquid empire versus anchoring yourself to dead equity. You're 27, you have a choice. Option A, buy the house. Sink $40,000 into dead equity. Lock yourself into one city for 7+ years. Spend 50% plus of your income on housing. Pay 88% interest vapor for years. Give up career mobility. Pay a 6% exit tax if you need to leave. Reach $100,000 in liquid assets at age 37. Option B, rent plus invest. Keep $40,000 invested, earning 10%. Maintain geographic flexibility. Spend under 30% of income on housing. Build liquid wealth that compounds. Preserve optionality. No exit tax. Reach $100K in liquid assets at age 34. 10 years later, homeowner at 37. $60,000 in home equity. Earn $755,000. Limited mobility. Total liquid net worth to $80,000. Renter at 37. $270,000 in investments, fully liquid. Earned $945,000 mobile career. Total net worth, $270,000. The renter has $190,000 more wealth, full career, mobility, and options the homeowner doesn't have. This is why not having a down payment at 27 is your ultimate advantage. You're preserving optionality, avoiding dead equity, keeping your capital liquid and compounding, and staying mobile during your most critical career phase. Wealth is what you don't see. It's the liquid empire quietly compounding in the market while the homeowner's equity sits frozen in walls. At 27, you can either look wealthy by anchoring yourself to a deed, or you can be wealthy by building liquid assets that give you freedom. So run the forensics. Calculate the 7% rule for homes in your zip code. Compare it to rent. Then drop your break-even number in the comments. You're not behind at 27 for not having a down payment. You're preserving your greatest advantages: time, compound interest, optionality, and mobility. While your friends anchor themselves to 30-year sentences, you're building a liquid empire that will compound into real wealth. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, drop your 7% rule calculation in the comments, and if you'd like to know more about real estate forensics, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you on the next one.